Got Bitcoin here at a huge decision point. Let's take a look at it.
Hey, howdy everyone, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. Today we'll be utilizing the TDU method of analysis to look for potential setups in the charts. Let's see what we can find. First, if you want to learn more about the TDU method, check out the site. If this video is helpful or you learned something new, please like and subscribe to stay updated with my analysis. Now let's dive into it.
Out here on the weekly, we have a little bit of a concern here. We started actually breaking down beneath the level that I identified last week. We haven't officially broken down and broken anything yet. You can see here that we've been finding support on these previous highs back here and have been holding above this level for now. If we look further back here at the last time we went sideways like this, you can see that we did pretty much the same move. We had a questionable move down. We weren't sure what this was. And we got a swift move up that broke the high. And then we got a deep move back to the level here for a little bit of a head and shoulders play out retest before it shot back up. Again, we're doing the same thing up here where we have a slow move down, corrective looking, a move up as pretty much looking like an impulse still, in my opinion, moving up and back away. Now we're getting another deep move. Of course, past price action doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future, but we're doing the same thing here. But we couldn't quite peak up above the most recent high here. And we're coming back down to retest these areas. This is just looking at past PA to try and judge what's going to happen here. It's not a guarantee, but just interesting how this has played out in the past, and we're getting the same looking thing up here. Down here on the daily last week, we were looking for this move to play out as a potential diagonal before we get a move up, either a retrace internally to this move or a move up to the all-time highs. But what we ended up getting was the alternative bearish scenario that I was looking at last week, where we got the move down, cutting into 60K, and we got the bounce up. That was one of the things I was looking for here, was a move down to 60K, hopefully in a wick form for the more bullish outcome potential, a bounce back into the range, and then a retrace back to this level, which is played out pretty much ideally at the moment. Doesn't mean that we're headed up to all-time highs at this point, but it is a good start here to show that we do have a little bit of strength here to potentially move back to at least the middle of the range. And that's where I'm looking at for a decision point as to whether this is going to be the start of a move down to lower lows, or if we're actually going to stay up here and head up to all-time highs. The main level here for that situation right now, and we'll dig into this a little bit down here when I go down to the smaller time frames, but for now, if this does get a reaction up, we're looking back at the middle of the range here at 65.5. It's all going to be dependent on how the PA prints here. Is this going to be some lazy, impulsive move up or motive move up here to this level before we get a dump down off of this level? Are we going to get a 1-2, 1-2 situation coming in here? It's really going to depend on how the PA prints. We can put alphabet and number soup all over this thing. In the end, we got to wait for the PA to print before we can get some idea. And the way it prints can also lend to the market's agenda as to what it wants to do in the future. Is it going to be nice and lazy? Is it going to be questionable? And there's going to be bulls unsure of what's going to happen next? Are the bears going to be nice and confident and push us back down? The PA is going to tell us that when it prints. We can speculate all we want now what's going on, but in the end, we have to wait for a little bit more conviction or a little bit of a tell from either side of the market to see what is really going on in here. Sure, everybody, myself included, has been through this 100 times and put numbers and letters all over this thing, only to have it do something unexpected at some point within this sideways. There's a reason Elliott Wave principle says that once you see something going sideways, it's time to just take a break and walk away from the market for a little bit until it shows you some clarity. The fun thing about corrections as well, especially sideways ones, is that they get a little bit more complex as it goes through. things are going to be a lot less clear because the market's unclear as to what it really wants to do. In the end, we are still going sideways. This isn't really a motive down at the moment. There is still a potential that we're just consolidating here before we get a move up. Question is on the smaller area here is how it's going to react and how it's going to play out from here. Could keep going sideways, but right now, I think it all culminates into this little area here, which we're dealing with now in real life. Past PA could go a couple ways. I still see this as an impulsive move up. Is it part of a correction here? I've seen a lot of, WX. This is going to be a flat in here, which it could be. If this is an impulse, that could definitely be part of a C wave. Usually, the C waves of flats are the quickest move, though. Having this as, a more apparent impulse up and not a swift move to sweep the highs and then dump back down, leading me to question, is this a C wave of a flat that's been put in right here, A, B, C? It's not ideal. And that's what the whole premise of using Elliott Wave in trading is. We're looking for ideal setups. We're not looking to take pot shots at just random counts that we think it could be. We're looking for clarity in the market. We're not looking for clout, if you will. Right now, I think this is still questionable. This swift move down is a little bit telling. We can work with this, and when we get to the further down time frames, I'll look at it a little bit more. But right now, I think this area down here is going to be the key. On my last videos, I was saying that if this is an impulse, that could be in addition to either the most bearish count or the most bullish count. Most bearish, because if this is an impulse up, what if this is some truncation to this larger degree 4? And then this degree of impulse is complete, and now we're heading down. It's all going to depend on the break of this level here at 56.5. If this can hold and we get a move up, that'd be great. Then we can lean on this to be, okay, this is a 1 of something up or an A of something up. If we end up breaking this down here, though, then I would have to revert back to, okay, this is either a truncation of some sort or this is the C wave of a flat. But then it would also depend on what happens after that. The other count we were looking at in the last couple of videos is that this is A, B, C up, and that this is some X wave or something coming down. That's also a possibility. In most exchanges, we got a sweep of this high over here, which would mean that we can't have this as a zigzag down. So that would eliminate several counts of this possibly being some diagonal heading up. Because this is a flat and because we got the sweep of the high here on other exchanges, we can't have a flat inside of a diagonal. So that would take that off the list. This could be an A, B, C, A, B, C, or a larger A, B, C of something else coming in if we start heading up. One last thing here on the daily before I jump down to the smaller time frames is that this level has been holding as support for now, which adds to its power of being a support and resistance line here because we touched it so many times and have a reaction in the area of it. Like I said last time, we got a move down, we swept it, and then we popped back up, and now we're correcting back to it. This adds to it. This adds to my idea where if we do end up breaking down beneath it, is it going to turn into resistance when we come back up and test it? If we break down and we come back to it, I'm going to be looking for this area to act as resistance now because it has acted as support so many times here that this would be a potential area where we could play it as resistance and play it as a move down here for lower lows. The other thing that pops out to me quickly is all these little candle wicks up here. This is telling me that we have some selling pressure up in this area at 62K. Haven't been able to close above it. the last couple days here, which is a tell right there. This is going to be my first level I want to see pop, at least this level here. We'll take a look when we get deeper down into it, but for now, this just stands out as we have some selling pressure here that we need to blast through and flip into support. Down here on the 4 hour, we got the ideal move that we wanted to see last week, where we got the breakdown in a swift move, broke the line of support or the range low. Then we got the quick move back up above the level, back into the range, and a corrective move to test the bottom of the range. Now, this isn't a guarantee that we're going to shoot up to all-time highs or anything, but this is a good look for now, in my opinion, of a potential of a move back to at least the middle of the range. Right now, it's all going to be on this area, what we do here. This is a huge time and place for Bitcoin to decide if it's going to move back into the range or if we're going to break down back below the range. We are in the golden zone here. We did bounce out of the golden corner pocket, it looks like, here on Coinbase, which is a good sign. Everything's adding up to a potential for a nice move up. I did take a long here last night. Hopefully we get a move up back to at least the middle of the range. It's going to be all on how this PA prints. If we end up coming up all correctively and sideways and it's lazy like this, then I'm going to be looking for these areas up here, depending on the wave count that comes up, for a potential short. We need a nice swift move up. Hopefully after this weekend on Monday or something, we get a nice move up for the new month here. We get the monthly close open on Monday, and then it's time for Bitcoin to move up. We have a swift move up, correction back to a level of interest inside the golden zone. I think this is a good area to look. If you missed this bounce already, it's up to you how to play it. You could always look for another correction back down, but we'll dig into that a little bit deeper when I come down to a smaller time frame. But for right now, we're looking good for a potential move up. We do have to break this pivot high here before we get some conviction that the price wants to go at least towards the target here of the algo and further up. Ideally, of course, we want to see a swift move up here and a correction for a wave 4 to convince us that we have an impulse coming in here. And then we can start looking for potential move back up to the upside to the all-time high. Right now, this is the pivot point, pun intended. That is the most important area right now. As a count for this whole move down, I'm at a loss at this point. I don't have anything convincing on here. I'm not going to put any numbers or letters on here, try and convince myself otherwise of what this actually is. We did have something similar happen in the past where we did do a dip down this move here where we have a swift move down, a correction, and then we got another swift down and a bounce out, which left us with a 3-wave move. This PA right here isn't super ideal as far as Elliott Wave goes, in my opinion. I don't think I can really lean on it for anything convincing to say, okay, now is the time to enter. The time that presented itself was this print here, where we got to move up, move back up in a somewhat impulsive looking manner, and a retrace down in a corrective 3-wave move, and a reaction out of the 618 golden zone off of a level, all that good stuff. For me, on the smaller time frames, I can ignore all this stuff since I'm looking for a C3 setup. Everything to the left doesn't really matter. If I see an impulsive move up and a retrace, a 3-wave move retrace back to a level of confluence or an area of confluence, that's all I really need on the smaller time frame. So I'm going to be looking for a move up in a C wave or a 3-wave move fashion. And I can deal with whatever prints out after that. Potentially have a nice profitable trade. Larger time frame though, I still think we need some clarity. We're still far away from a lower high here. We've been putting in still lower highs at this point. So we really still have to break that pattern. Even at this time frame would be an ideal change of character here, where we get a lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, and start changing the direction of the trend here at this degree at least. If this move can't make it up past, at least give us a nice little zigzag up here and we end up dumping before we can break these highs, then I would consider this to be some of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how all this prints out. We're still seeing three wave moves up here and then swift moves down. This is the first swift move V up that we've seen. We still haven't taken out any higher or lower highs at this point. So there's still a question as to what's going on. This could be one of the bigger corrective moves here before we get a nice move down, but we'll have to wait for that to print. But right now, my eyes are going to be on, if we get a move away from here, how we do it. Swift move up, good for an impulse. A lazy impulse to the right here. Then I'm going to be looking for a C wave and then a move down here to lower lows potentially. Down here, we have a pretty good looking setup here, especially with the TDU method. We have a swift move down past an area of interest, which was this level here at 60K, 59.8, whatever. But we got a swift move back up, breaking this smaller degree here for a change of character. And then we got to retrace back down into the area of interest here, touching the golden zone, golden corner pocket at this point on Coinbase. And then we also have this level as well. So this is looking like a nice setup here for a potential move back up to at least the middle of the range, in my opinion. But right now, what we have to look for here, we do have a reaction outside of the golden corner pocket. Next thing I'm going to do, obviously, is throw on a pitchfork, looking for a golden corner pocket. Now, if this pivot does hold, we have an 80% chance that we're going to move to the median line or the pitchfork median line here. We also have the algo first target there and another algo first target here, which ends at the median line of the range that I have drawn out there for now, and a level of interest up there as well. If we also add this on there, we got 272 up there as well. We're getting some things adding up here back at the 65.5 area, 65.2. We'll have to wait for PA to print out, but for right now, I think this is looking as a pretty good setup. First warning signs, obviously, are going to be the break of our pitchfork here, denoting some weakness in the market. And as with any PA, we really want to see how it breaks. Is it going to break? Is it breaking all correctively and we're going to get an internal correction to this pivot here? Or is it going to be a swift move down? And then this was all just a fake setup and we're heading down to lower lows. Right now, I'm liking this as impulse up and then a three-wave move down. That's what it looks like to me. Of course, I can always convert this since it's not ideal PA here for an impulse. This can also be converted to several other things. You could have this as a diagonal, it looks like in there. This could be something else or a corrective pattern. It all depends on if this pivot here at 58.4 holds before we get a break of 62.5. Right now, I think this looks like a pretty good setup. We got to move out of the golden zone, off of level of interest at the end of an Elliott Wave corrective pattern, and we got a reaction in what looks like an impulse up. It's the weekend. Things can change a lot during the weekend, as we saw last weekend here, where right around the futures open, we got that nice healthy dump there. Charting on the weekend, it's a crapshoot. Algos are just buying. Sometimes it just goes sideways and gives you a bunch of junk PA until the actual move on Sunday night. We'll see how this plays out, but right now I think this is looking pretty good for a move up to break at least 62,500 for at least to move back up to this area of interest up here at 64 to 65. On the 15-minute, we're going to start looking for entries here on the smaller time frame. I think we have a nice looking move up here in an impulsive manner. I've already entered down at the golden zone here last night. I'm going to be looking for a correction within this range now to enter in. We still have some support and resistance here we could look at right in there. So if we get a nice corrective move down to this area, we do have some pattern here that looks like it could be a flat coming in. It's all going to be how we print here and into this area as to whether I'm going to enter or add to my position or not. Back out here on the daily, again, the main thing we're looking for is a reaction here. I want to see a nice move up, impulsive move, motive wave move, anything up out of this area to break these candles here at 62 and make at least a move back to the center of the range here. And at that point, it's going to be another C3 setup for me. If it does make it back to the center of the range, it's going to put us right into the 50 percentile area. And if it does so correctively, that'll add more toward a move down to the downside. It could also mean, 1, 2, 1, 2, or an A, B, C, X, A, B, C. Impulse is going to be a nice anchor here if we do get one, or a motive wave of some sort. Impulse would be ideal. And then we can play it from here. We can play a C3 down, or we can wait and see how this prints. If this prints correctively, then we're going to be looking for that. Right now, I know a lot of people are nervous that we're going to start dumping down from here. There's a couple ways you can go about protecting yourself if you are nervous that we're going to dump down. And that's going to be up to you how you plan your money out. But there are ways to protect yourself where you don't have to exit your position as a whole. Not financial advice. You got to do what you got to do. You can hedge from here. You can take profit. You can dump it all. It's up to you what you want to do. But we are at an area of interest right now. If we end up breaking beneath here swiftly, nothing's certain, but I would start looking for the corrections. If they keep pointing up, then I'm going to start looking down. If we can turn this around right here and start busting up some of these levels that we broke down from and start flipping it so that we have corrections pointing down and swift moves up, then I think we're starting to look a little more safe than we are right now. We still have to break some of the higher lows that we have up here that we haven't done yet. The Bulls have a lot to prove at this point. It's not 100% game over at this time. We held the 60, even though we broke it, we still held above it. At this point, we closed above it. There's still a chance that we could bounce up from this level. But if you're not confident that we're going to get a bounce out here, there's other ways you can work the system so you're not losing out all of your profits or whatnot. There is still a chance that this is some impulse down and we're dealing with a wave 4 here. If that's the case, again, we're going to see at least a move past this level here at 58,358 before we get a swift move back up. There's plenty of chances here. Prove me wrong to say that this is going to bounce up here. But if we do get a move down impulsively or motively, I should say, there still is a chance that this is all just some trickery, and then we're going to move down here, sweep the low. But if we do sweep the low here, we're getting pretty far away from this range level, and we'd have to work our way back into it before I would feel confident that we're going to be heading up toward higher high, or at least the middle of the range again. But that's all I got on Bitcoin for this week. The other thing I want to look at real quick is Ethereum, just on the smaller time frame. I don't have a count that I 100% like on this, to be honest. Obviously, the more bullet or the more bearish consideration here would be that this is a diagonal down. We did a corrective move back up here, and then we're heading down for lower lows now. This could be some diagonal. This looks like a bunch of junk right now. But the main thing that I want to look at here and that I'm going to be trying to trade off of and play off of is this level here at 3350. As you can see here, we've played as this level is played as resistance here in the past, played as support, and now we're testing it here. Broke down, swift move down into the golden zone, into the golden corner pocket even here. And we got a swift move back up into this above this level here. And it's all going to depend on how this plays out from here. Right now, it looks like a 3-wave move up to me. If we get an impulse move down here, I'm going to be looking for a correction back up to play off. If we do hold this level here at 33.25-ish area, and we start heading up, there's a potential here, and we break this trend line that we could be moving up for some higher highs. It all depends on this pivot and this level. If we can hold above it, great. If we start breaking down, I'm going to be looking for this to flip back into resistance and then a move back down into a lower low. Where that lower low ends, it's hard to say because this has been moving down not as swiftly as some of these other moves here. We had a swift move up here, swift move up. Could be coming back, and hopefully we'll find some support on this level at 32. But then my next area to look at would be 3,000 area. We do have Ethereum ETF coming out next week too, I believe, or a possibility for one. That news could move us either way. Last news we got was the possibility of an ETF, and we got dumped on after that. We got dumped on, and then it swept the high, and then after that we've just been making lower highs and lower lows. Or we haven't broken any higher lows. We did get a change of character here, where we got a swift move up, correction, and then we got a higher high and a higher low. If we can keep that up and start climbing our way out of here, that would be ideal. For right now, it's going to be all on this level and where we are now. So we're at a major pivot point here as well. If this is going to hold and the bulls are going to take back over and send us back up, really looking for that to play out and how it plays out. And then we got this next level up here, if we do get the move up, that we have to contend with up at 36.81. So that's what I'm looking at here for Eth2. If we get the break up, I want to see how we react in this area. If we do something correctively and start breaking these levels or do something like that, if we just do a swift move up here and break up above this level, I'm going to be watching for this area to play as support for a potential continuation up. If we end up breaking down past this area, I'm going to be watching these levels I have marked out to play as resistance. And until this actually flips around and starts flipping these areas of interest back into support, I'm still going to be playing this down because right now we have lower lows and lower highs, and we have the three wave moves pointing upward. So the trend is down at the moment. And until that flips around, then that's what I'm going to keep playing for, is the down move. And try and be a hero and catch the bottom here. If you think this is some diagonal, that's great. But the first hell for me is going to be when we start breaking some of these pivots and getting corrections back to the downside with swift moves back up to the upside. That's what I'm looking for on BTC and Ethereum. Let me know if you have any comments or questions or concerns. Please leave a comment down below. Please like, subscribe, show me some love. Trade safe, trade clarity. Thanks for watching. Later.